Good morning today, 20th January 2025. We are going to discuss editorials from Business Standard. First article here, it talks about crude oil demand in India, how crude oil has shaped in the past and presently how the changes have been happening if we consider from geopolitical world point of view. So we will discuss this article in detail. Indian refineries, basically BPCL, HPCL, IOCL, they are competing in a series of meetings this month with West Asian suppliers for crude oil in order to discuss about one of the important things. What is that? That is called term contract. So they want to renew the term contract. Why now? Previously, we have these contracts. Why we are renewing again? Because there is an uncertainty over supply of crude oil from Russian suppliers. As you all aware, 2022 war happened between Russia and Ukraine. Russian impositions from United States of America, the sanctions imposed on Russia, no one dared to buy from Russia the crude oil. So India started buying from them. There was almost $15 to $20 of discount that has been offered on barrel. One barrel means almost 158 to 158 liters. That much of discount has been offered. So Indian government has gone and then they have bought. But today the discount has come down almost through from $15 to $3, and then supply also very like meager chances. That's why Indian refineries now they are renewing their term contract with West Asian suppliers, basically Middle Eastern countries. One important thing they can say, you can buy cake, you can buy sweets, or you can buy anything. But Saudi Arabia is basically bread and butter of crude oil for Indian industry. That's kind of very much explains why the state-run refineries they are planning to renew their contract. Earlier, they were planning to trim their contract with Saudi Arabia because of the higher prices, because of the higher margins, because of the free discounts that have been offered by Russian during 2022. Now these refineries they are changing their decision, they are reversing that decision. Indian refineries now they are planning to renew because in order to enhance optimum volumes under the existing contract, basically if you consider on fiscal basis, this will cost almost $4 to $5 extra premium. So because even though it cost high, there is a huge reliability. We can buy crude oil at our advantage. We can buy at any time. So this comes with advantage. Even there was meeting on contract extension with Kuwait on January 10th, even UAE, United Arab Emirates, that had happened in January 17th. Basically, if you see term contract, this is typically like firm volume and optional purchases. Suppose say I want per year 20 million metric tons, and apart from that, if you want some extra crude oil, that can also you can purchase. This is about term contract. Unless Donald Trump now today he is swearing in as a second time as a president of United States of America, the sanctions against Russia, Indian refinery they have little choice but to buy crude oil from West Asian countries, basically Middle Eastern countries. Even they have to bear high costs. But these may not necessarily increase term volumes in West Asian contracts. We want higher means we may not get from Saudi Arabia itself. Suppose say Iraq, they told they have already announced its allocations. They are retaining the last year volume. Suppose say last year they might have supplied some 1,000 million metric tons. They might be changing the same. So that's why IOCL, Indian Oil, biggest refinery in India, they have retained annual crude oil import deal with Iraq almost 20 million ton. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, They have secured 3 million metric tons. HPCL, they have secured around 5 million metric tons. Other producers, they are yet to make term allocations for 25-26. So, state refiners, they source around almost 25 million metric tons in a year in term supplies from Saudi Arabia. Kuwait supplies almost around 4 million metric tons. UAE, more than 13 million metric tons. Basically, if you see, optional volumes mean Indian refinery have choice to buy even if prices are competitive, or they go it from elsewhere. They seek alternatives. They buy cheaper grades from the spot market. What do you mean by spot market? Term contract, what we discussed is basically you will have fixed amount of crude oil where you can buy. Wherein spot contract, you go, you buy all at once. That is called spot contract or spot market. State refineries, they may increase purchase from optional volumes. This is kind of component of the term contract. And then spot volumes from West Asia, because there are sanctions by America on Russian oil that may cripple our transportation system. Top state refinery, they told almost 2 million barrels of UAE's Marban grade. They have sourced at $4 premium. That is a benchmark of Dubai. What do you mean by benchmark? Benchmark means that is the price. Suppose say everyone buys a price. Suppose say you go to the market, you find that 1 kilo of tomato cost around 100 rupees. That is the benchmark. You go another market, another shop, and then you see there is 103 rupees. So the 3 rupees kind of extra premium that he is charging on you. So that is how. So Dubai grade is basically benchmark. If you see in 2018, 61% of the India's barrels of crude oil, they came from Gulf area, according to Market Intelligence Agency. This reduced as low as 41% last year, because this is even now at the present year. What happens? You may guess this may increase. Why? Because we no longer can depend on Russia. Moreover, if you see Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, they are important for India because they remain only investors. They take investment in our projects. If you see Saudi Arabia and UAE, from India, many of our people have gone there, they are working over there. So from expatriate community also, it is very important, Saudi Arabia and India. Saudi Arabia and UAE, for them, India is very near and India is very important. India is a growing economy. India is 5th largest economy in the world, and it may become 3rd largest economy by 2030. So it offers huge growth potential. One Indian oil refinery, basically Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, they recently made a statement that they want to build a greenfield refinery in Andhra Pradesh. Greenfield refinery with petrochemical projects. So when such kind of statement have been made, so refineries basically they are less risk taking. So they have to get the funds. In that case, Aramco company from Saudi Arabia or any other company from UAE, they can come forward and they can invest in these refineries. They can reap the benefits. That's why UAE and Saudi Arabia, they are very important. Though we are paying kind of premium prices when compared to benchmark prices. These countries, basically Saudi Arabia and UAE, they are very important for us. You might remember Ratnagiri refinery that was proposed with 60 million metric tons, and 3 refineries together, basically BPCL, HPCL, IOCL, and Saudi Aramco, they can invest 60 million metric tons. That could have become one of the world's largest refinery after Reliance Dahej refinery. So considering these facts, the countries are very important. We need to focus more on our oil supplies. This is the about. You can even see the report here. Russia, our share of crude oil in January to November 2024, almost $78 per barrel. Iraq 80 then US 65. But US, when we import, it takes a lot of time. Freight charges will be very high. Saudi Arabia 86 dollar per barrel, but its cost is very high. So now present cost, if we see, there is no much difference between Russia and rest of the countries. Let's see what happens in the future. It will be keep on changing based on geopolitical scenario and geopolitics. Next article about Hyundai. They partnered with TVS. So what is this article about? South Korean automaker Hyundai Motors Company, basically you can call Hyundai. They tied up with TVS Motor Company Limited, basically TVS Motor, in order to go into last mile mobility market in India. How you go into last mile mobility market? Autos can go any part of India. Suppose say now Ola is there. Suppose you travel from, suppose say in Kochi, Kerala, you travel from one area to other area. From there you have almost 3 kilometers. After getting down in metro station, you have to travel almost 3 kilometers in order to reach your home. Buses cannot go. Then what you can do? You will go through auto only, or if you can have bike, then you can go, or otherwise you need to hire auto. That is called last mile delivery, last mile mobility market. So Hyundai, they brought up new concept models in order to advanced electric three-wheelers, even micro four-wheelers at Bharat Mobility Global Expo in 2025. This is happening presently. Though there are no binding agreements that have been explored or executed, Hyundai Motors, they are exploring potential to offer design, engineering and technology. Even TVS Motor also explore manufacturing and marketing of these vehicles. They also told collaboration with TVS Motor. They aim to produce locally. Three-wheelers also, they are exploring global opportunity for four-wheeler. They want to blend intuitive functionality with spirit of rapidly innovating India. These innovative concepts, they highlight and strengthen Hyundai Motors' unwavering commitment to its vision of progress for humanity. Even they want to prioritize convenience, sustainability, adaptability as a part of India's dynamic transportation landscape. Hyundai Motor is customer-centric brand, and Hyundai Motor is caring for people in India. This is kind of first mission they have told. Several people have talked about. Even according to company, the concept vehicle, they can not only address pressing need of sustainable mobility, they also align with evolving demands of Indian roads, urban infrastructure. Even TVS also, they are proud to explore partnership with Hyundai Motor in order to shape future Indian mobility. By combining Hyundai Motors' global expertise with TVS' deep understanding of mobility solutions, they aim to develop next generation micro mobility solutions that not only redefine last mile connectivity, but also it will provide a potential collaboration that reflects commitment to innovation sustainability. They have even shared vision, basically in order to bring impactful solutions according to standards in design, engineering, technology and quality also. Taking these kind of commitments as a step further, Hyundai even wants to explore the practicality and potential of the futuristic mobility solutions, even analyzing the integration of India's traffic system. Hyundai Motor micro mobility concept vehicles, they are kind of examples of brand's customer centric design, human centered engineering also. Every details of this concept vehicle, they are under review. They reflects Hyundai Motors commitment to India. Even including the color also, they are changing the Akashi blue. That is the color basically that is signifies vast Indian Ocean, boundless sky, testament to kind of limitless aspiration of the Indian spirit, and the company told these things basically. So these partnership are very very important. When this partnership come up, so they will bring a lot of innovative solutions, and then ultimately it will help people in good way. Next article, we will discuss about India and United States of America relations. Today, 20th January 2025, Donald Trump, though he is known for his discomfort with global rules because always he will be breaking by taking unilateral actions, he will be sworn in as 47th President of the United States of America. When you say United States of America, this country, it played a huge role in developing internationally accepted rules in various spheres, especially after end of Second World War. We all are aware in the first term, Trump took his country out of the Paris climate change agreement. Even he took country out of trade negotiations for trans-Pacific partnership. Basically, this is a forum wherein the Pacific Rim countries participates. He unilaterally raised tariffs on steel, aluminum, extra. Even invoked bogus excuses for invoking those tariffs. By bringing those tariffs, he told national security concern. Basically, what he was trying to do was like protecting the economy. When you protect the economy, it won't happen. Today, world is globalized. He even completely dismantled the dispute settlement mechanism in the World Trade Organization by not allowing appointment of the enough referees in order to hear the appeals. World Trade Organization basically hears the appeals. Basically, funding majorly happens from United States of America. So he gave veto and then he didn't appoint people for World Trade Organization dispute settlement body. If that body cannot function, then we cannot take any action. So if any trade disputes or trade disputes are happening, no one can resolve those disputes, and then redressal for those problems may not come out. Even he planned to leave World Health Organization also. Now, with bigger mandate for second terms, he had made a lot of promises in order to bring huge tariff across board, even levy higher import duties on goods coming from China, Mexico, Canada, and India. He also talked about reducing or completely preventing immigration, even talked about integrating Canada, Greenland, even Panama Canal with his country. How far he will carry out those kind of threats, it is unclear, and how he will respect the many of the global rules without any bias, that also need to be understood, and it is unclear. All the countries are now they are preparing for their own responses because they know how to engage with United States of America when Trump comes in India. If you see, basically there is a confidence that agreement can be reached with Trump administration over reduction of tariffs on some of the items like motorcycles, liquor, without even hurting domestic producers also. There is also readiness to impose retaliatory tariffs in the event of any actions by United States of America on India specific goods. Certainly, if you see Indian government, we would not like to seen as giving pressure tactics. A deal should be made in such a way that the win-win situation happens between both of them. One of the major pressing issue between both the countries is visas. Many of our professionals, students, they are going to United States of America in order to seek the studies, and then they are delivering services over there. So Trump administration, they may go smoothly and without bothering this time about visa related issue. Another pertinent issue is US-China trade war. This may intensify under Trump. He repeatedly accused China on many of the wrongdoings like stealing intellectual property rights. If there if there any loss of market share due to USA, China will become more aggressive in other markets, making difficult for Indian exports in order to compete at the lower prices. Some US and Chinese companies they may divert their investment away from China, and India may be one of the beneficiaries. Trump he even make more difficult for Iran and Russian to sell crude oil or transport crude oil, and it will force India to buy crude oil from Middle Eastern countries. Basically, we discussed first article about this USA and Saudi Arabia. So international price of the crude oil, this may also go increase, and then it will put pressure on our balance of payment thing. So Our businesses, they are not disturbed by distractive agenda of the Donald Trump, but some countries and international institutions, they have kind of anxious days ahead. This is article about. So you can consider, see, if you see the trade matrix here, 2017 we were almost exporting 45.92 billion. When it comes to 2024, we were exporting 80.68 billion. Almost we are in trade surplus with United States of America. What about money inflow, equity inflows from United States of America into India? In 2021, it reached almost 13.82 billion, but presently 24-25, it is 2.57 billion. Why? Why the equity inflows has been changing? US Federal Bank, sometimes when they reduce interest rate, they want to, basically those who are investing, they want to gain huge amount of money. So they come to market like India, they will invest there and then they will keep money for some time. However, when Federal Bank of United States of America, they raise interest, they will get a lot of money, so they will take out the money and they will go back there. Basically, it all depends on demand and supply. There are many accusations are there against Trump because he is protecting industries domestically, but considering India and United States of America's relations, let's see what happens in the future. So we may give a good shot at these. We discussed 3 articles today. First article was about Indian crude oil demand. Second article was about Hyundai and its partnership with TVS. Third article, India USA relations. That's all for today. Thank you. Thank you very much for discussion.